do the recording on both. That's fine. Okay, good. So friends, I want to set up my Linux environment. Okay. I've shared the link. Okay, friends. Somebody says it's blurry. I think it's still Suleiman that's complaining that it's blurry. Is it the same for everybody? Is it blurry? Friends, I hope we're good. Is it working for everybody? Okay, so I want to believe it's fine for every other person. Okay, right. So okay, somebody says he left WebEx because Teams is better. Okay. All right. So okay, friends, if you think WebEx is blurry, please move to Teams, okay? But if you can, please just stick to that. Let's just continue, okay? So we are currently recording. Let's continue, please, so we can save time, okay? All right. So, friends, I want to show you, first of all, I want to show you how I can set up my Linux environment where I can practice on my local computer. Now, this will be very good experience if you're using Windows 10 and above, okay? So, first of all you need to do is this. Just come, okay? If you're practicing alongside with me, just type install WSL2. Did you see that? Install WSL2 and then hit enter. Okay? Now you're going to get this link. Click on it. All right? Now, if you click on this link, this is what you will see. All right? Now, try your best to see these prerequisites. You must be running Windows 10 version 2004 and higher. So when you check your Windows version, I've taught you all how to check your Windows version. All right. So make sure that yours is not lower than this ratings here. Okay, good. And you're using Windows 11. Okay, let's close all this. That's why I don't like Telegrams being on various sections. Okay, good. So now, friends, this is what I want you to do. Once you've opened this page and you're sure your computer is using the exact version that they need, okay? I want to believe that more than 50% of people using on this program are Windows users. If you are a Linux, a Mac OS user, please don't stress yourself. Your terminal already comes with a Linux environment. You're a big boy or a big lady, confirmed. Don't stress yourself. Okay, you're in my family. Just chill. You don't need to follow all this process. Okay, so for the Windows users, all you should do is just confirm that your version meets all this. Now, once you've confirmed that, next step, can you see something here? If you read all this, it will tell you to open something called PowerShell, okay? Or Windows command prompt, but you need to open it where? In administrator mode, okay? Good. So let me show you what I need to do. This is what it means. If you press your start menu, if I type something like PowerShell, did you see that? Now it's going to show you so many things. Under this PowerShell here, can you see run as administrator? I hope we all can see it here. If I click on run as administrator, it's going to prompt you and you need to type yes. And when you type yes, you're going to see this pop-up, this window. Okay. Now, when you see this window, all you should type is what you see here. Now, if you don't want to type it, just come here and click on this copy here. Does that make sense? Just copy this, right? When you copy it, you come here and you paste it, and then you hit enter. That's all. That is all you need to do. I'm not going to hit enter because I already have it. Once you hit enter, it's going to install and configure WSL version 2 for you. Sometimes it installs Ubuntu as your base operating system. Depending on how fast your internet is, it might take you less than 10 minutes. Now, if you know your network is not fast or reliable, know that if it starts downloading, you might start experiencing delay or lagging on your network. So don't feel bad if you can't hear me again, okay? So it's either you wait till the end of the program, or if you're sure your internet is good, then go ahead and download it, okay? Now, once you're able to download it, it's going to get to a point, it will tell you to enter your username. You'll just enter the username and then set a password. Don't worry, it's not going to show the password, but just go ahead and type it. And then that's all. You'll be able to get this environment that I have here. You'll be able to have this kind of environment. Okay? That's what I want you all to do. I don't know if I should wait for you all, but if you're able to, you will get to this page. Okay? That's how to set up something we call Windows Subsystem for Linux. Okay? You want to be able to run Linux on your Windows computer. This is how to run Linux on your Windows computer. We call it WSL, right? WSL. I hope this is understandable for everybody. Okay? Now, if you are able to get to this environment, okay, like I've done. So remember, I was trying to show you an illustration now. So this environment will accept some Linux commands. This environment will only accept Windows commands. For example, if I come here and I type ls, you're going to see there's a folder called employee. If I come to command prompt and I type ls, it tells you this command is not recognized. You see that? That is the difference between Windows and a Linux environment. I hope this is making sense. So, but Windows, you need to type dir for directory. You see that? Good. And if you want to clear the screen, you use cls to clear the screen. But if you want to clear the screen here, you use what? clear. Okay. Again, I said these videos, if you watch the Linux video we shared in the previous class, you'll be able to do this. Okay. Now, let's connect into this server. I was trying to show us something when I came here, and I said to connect to a game server, you need to use this approach. Okay. SSH username at host and then P. For instance, this is a server. Okay. This game here, this website called OverTheWire, okay, they have a server with some games there, okay? And the only way you can play the game is to connect into it. You know the way you connect it into your EC2 instance? That's the same way you need to connect into their server. And they tell you that you need to connect through SSH. And anytime you want to connect into SSH, you should remember this formula, okay? The SSH, then the username, at, then the host, then -p, which is the port. So if I want to connect to this server from my computer, what I need to do is to simply say SSH, okay? SSH space, what is the username of this server? Let's come here and check. It says the username, see it here, the username is what? Bandit0. You can check, you see it here. The username is Bandit0. So I'll come here and change this thing. So, or I'll just come here and say Bandit0. Did you see that? Then I'll put the @ symbol. @ symbol. Did you see that? Then the host. So come here. It said the host to which you need to connect is this. Can you see the host? They gave you the host here. So in most cases, the host can be a URL like this, or in most cases, it can be an IP. Take note of that. I'll copy this. I'll paste it here. See that? SSH space. Remember, there's a space here. Okay? SSH space bandit0 at the host. Then if you watch here, you see there's a space. I'll put a space -p. -p means the port. What does port means? The entrance point. Where do you want to enter from? If you go to a big building, there are different doorways to enter some buildings. It could be through the front, through the back, through the side, different entry points. Okay, I want you to see entry points as ports. Okay, ports. Now, this tells us that it is running on port what? 2220. Did you see that? 2220. So I'll come here and say -p, and I'll do what? I'll put a space and say what? 2220. Did you see that? So username is this, and then it's asking for password. Did you see? This is the password. So we've not yet tried the password, but let's run it and see. So this is the command. I hope you all understood how I did this. I hope you all understood how I did this. So this is how, if you get a job as a cloud engineer, or you get a freelance job and they ask you to connect to their server to do something on their server. So what you should expect from them is this four information. One, the username of their server. Two, the host information or the host IP. Three, the port. And four, the password. Please, if it makes sense, type yes on the comment section, just to be sure that you all get it. Okay? If you understand everything I've said so far, please type yes. My WebEx team, can you all type yes if you get it? Alavi says no. Let me say. Okay. My WebEx people said yes. Okay, good. Let me see how many persons are on WebEx just to be sure. Okay, good. We have about 12 persons. That's good. Thank you so much, guys. So what I'm saying is, if you have a job or somebody asks you to connect to his server, so there are four information you need from the persons. Four informations. One, you need the person's username. That's the server, the computer's username. Okay. Like for instance, if I want you to connect to my computer, this is my username here. Or all you need to do is just to type who am I. Once you say who am I, it will give you the username. You see that? So this computer, this is the username. Okay, so that's what you will put here. Username at the host or the IP. So for this computer, if they don't have the host configured, there will always be an IP. Now, for now, I'm not teaching you that, but I'll just show you. You can always type IP space A or IP address. Did you see that? So sorry, it's a double D. Okay. If you type IP space address, and you always ignore the first two. Anytime you see loop back, ignore it. Okay. So right now, this is the IP address of this computer. Okay. Although this is private IP. Okay. So for now, don't worry about this. Sorry, clear. Okay. So, but understand that they are going to provide you a host or an IP. Okay. So for this server, this is the host they provided for me. Okay. Then the next thing they need to provide for you is the ports, the entry point. Okay. You see, this is where we need to enter. If you remember in the last class, when we installed Nginx, Nginx listens on port 80. Do you all remember? Nginx listens on port 80. So applications usually listens on ports. So don't forget that. But in this case, their own server is listening on port 2220. Okay, good. So I just put -P and I put this. Now I'm going to copy this. Okay. When I copy this, I want to connect to this. So now the question is, where am I supposed to type this command? Is it here? Or is it here? Or is it here? The question is anywhere. You know why? First of all, this terminal, does it support SSH? That's the first question you should ask yourself. Does this terminal support SSH? The only way to do is to type SSH. If you get command not recognized or cannot be found, it means it doesn't support it. So if I hit enter, you see, it shows me usage, which means it's working. Okay. If I come here and also type SSH, you see, it's working. If I come here and also type SSH, it's working. I hope this is making sense. Good. Now, if I come here and say I want to connect to this server in OverTheWire on Bandit level 0, I want to connect to it. How do I do that? Just paste that command. Can you see I pasted it? SSH space this. I'll just hit enter. Okay, watch me. I'll hit enter. Watch what's going to happen. Did you see what's doing? Did you notice it's connecting? For me to see this banner, it means it's connecting. This is an OverTheWire game server. You see? Do you notice it's asking me for a password? And they already told us that the password is what? Bandit 0. So if I come here now and type Bandit 0 and hit enter, let's see if it's going to let us in. Did you notice we are in? Was this, see what's showing us? This is not the way it was showing us before. So this is how to log into a server successfully. If you understand this, please type yes. If you understand how to log into a server, please type yes, just to be sure everybody got it. Okay, good. I can see your feedbacks. Great. Okay, so I want to believe that this is yes for everybody. Good. All right, friends, let's proceed because we want to save time as much as possible. Good. So I can either use the command prompt or I can either use this, what is it called? This. So let's see. I can connect from here as well. If I paste the same command and I hit enter, watch what's going to happen. Bandit 0. I hit enter. You see, I'm in. You see that? So I can also try it from here too by pasting this and hit enter. Are you sure you want to connect? Now, if you're using this and it asks you something like this, are you sure you want to continue connecting? Just type yes. It's asking for password, Bandit 0. See, it's in. If I type who am I, you see, it's Bandit 0. That's the username. Friends, this is very, very important. Very, very important. Okay, very important. Okay, now let's proceed. Now we've been able to learn how to connect. Now, remember, this is just a game, and I told you can use this to practice your Linux commands. Okay, so you can come here and read. So the first task for this game is to get, so you are currently on level 0. So for you to move from level 0 to level 1, you need to play the game. So you click on level 0 to level 1. So this is the instructions. So they tell you the password for the next level is stored in a file called readme. So you are currently in level 0, but to move from level 0 to level 1, they said you need to do what? Locate the password for the next level, which is level 1, and it's stored in a file called readme. Okay? And it's located in the home directory. Use this password to log into level 1 using the SSH. Whenever you find a password for a level, use this on port 2. So it's just an instruction on how to do it. And you see, they told you commands you may need to solve this level. So these are some Linux commands. If you've watched the video, you'll be familiar with some of them. Okay. Now, because I already know what it means, let me show you what to do. So they are asking me to look for a password in this environment. So the first thing I will do is just type ls. Can you see there's a file there? Okay. ls is used for listing, and there's a file called readme. And they also told me that the password is stored in a file called readme. So how do we check what is inside a readme file? We use the cat command. Okay. You just type cat and then the name of the file, readme. And if you hit enter, it's going to tell you what is inside that file. Can you see? This is the password. You can read all these things. We'll tell you congratulations on your first step. So you see, this is the password. Did you see that? So it's a game that can help you to learn Linux. And in the process of it, you'll be moving from one level to another level. So I hope this is very easy for you all to get started. Okay, so please, I encourage you to take your time, and it's going to help you to practice your Linux skills. Trust me, and there is no disadvantage in getting good on Linux. You can literally, there's every IT job I can think about, especially the hands-on technical jobs. If, as an engineer, cloud engineer, DevOps engineer, software engineer, and the rest of them, they always require Linux skills. Okay, so it's very, very important. It's not difficult. If you practice again, if you get stuck at any time, please reach out. We are always here to help. Okay. All right. So since we've all gotten to this, let's move on to our, what is it called? Let's move on to our EC2 instance that we started in the last class. So in the last class, we learned how we can spin up an EC2 instance and how we can also be able to install a web server on it. So we're going to do a quick recap and then we'll dive deeper. Today, the purpose of this class was to do a serious recap and make sure that any gaps is being understood and everybody understands what's going on. Okay. Now, somebody I saw I'm going to, so let's say I'm already, if you notice, I'm inside this gaming server, right? How do you step out of it? You can just type exit or log out, any of them. Okay. So if I come and say log out, it takes me out. Did you see? I'm out of it. And you can see the difference in the names. That's how to know you are out of the server. Okay. So I'm out of that server. On this shell, it may not be the same on this shell. You see? It's because I'm using different shells. But please, you mustn't do the same. I only should open 3 shells just to practice and make you understand it better. Okay? Now, having done that, friends, in the last class, when we were trying to do some examples on how to use the Linux command, I told you all that you can move into one location and do 1 or 2 things. And some persons were quite struggling on how to do that, right? Now, I'll just mention a few things and then we move on very, very fast. Now, let's do something here. I'm sure everybody can see my screen. And because you can see my screen, I'm going to, okay, let's get this Windows. Okay. Okay, good. So if you watch here, you're just going to see, okay, no, let's see. Okay, let's open this. Okay, good. Or do I do? Okay, now this is the folder called data engineering. Okay, data engineering. Or I can just use a simple folder that's not so complex. Okay, cloud engineering. I'll just come here, Control-Shift-N, and call it day 10. Okay, so this is a folder I have here, right? Friends, to go into this location, this is GUI. Okay, now all I need to do, if I want to go to that same location from my terminal, it's very simple. First of all, I know there's a folder called desktop, and inside Fred and inside training. So we'll use CD to move into a location, CD into desktop. Okay, and I'll hit enter. You see, it's working. Now, take note. I always want you to make sure that what you have there matches exactly what we have here. It's case sensitive. This is capital letter D, E, and everything is lowercase. That's the same way this is. Make sure you're observing it. Okay, if you do any form of typo, you might be wrong. Please take note of all this. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is to go into a folder called Fred. Okay, all these are folders. Okay, if I type ls, I'll see so many things, but I don't want to do that. So I'll just type cd, put a space, and say move into Fred. Did you see that? So from here, you see, it's matching what we have here. So next thing, I want to move into trainings. cd into trainings. You can use tab to autocomplete. See, I'm already doing it, so let's just do it. Cloud engineering. I'm using tab to autocomplete. It's not like I'm typing so fast. Okay, I told you to always press tab. Good. So cd into D10. D10. So we're currently in D10. If we type ls, you see there's nothing there and there's nothing here. If I want to create a file here, I'll just use touch and just put sample.txt. I've created a file and you see the file is showing here. And if you type ls here, you see the file I just created. That was what I was trying to demonstrate to you all in the previous classes. Again, this will make more sense if you have a Linux computer, so you can practice this command. And I encourage you to please watch the videos that I provided to you, or please watch the videos. All right. I know that there are people that this is their first time getting into the tech space. That's why I'm taking my time to explain this detail. Okay. Even if I only have 20 persons that finish this program, but they understand it so well, I am comfortable. You understand? It mustn't be 300 persons that registered and 300 persons that completed it. And there's lopsided learnings. Even if I can get 20 persons that understand it so well and they're willing to give it their time, practice, ask questions, I am comfortable. All right. So please take your time to practice. All right, let's move on. And in case you feel like this program is too early, is too fundamental for you, don't worry. We have plans for with this. I'm discussing with my team, so we have plans for the intermediate boot camp, right? So that it will be easy for anybody that finished the beginners to move to the intermediate. And we're trying our best to see how we can reduce the price drastically so that people can be able to afford it for those that will be interested in it. Okay. All right. So let's move on. We want to go ahead with our EC2 instance. All right, so come here. Let's see. Okay, sorry. Let's do this. Okay, so let's go to AWS EC2 instance. I'm sure you all know how to set up your AWS instance now. And you know how to spin up the EC2 instance. Our project is going to be very, very interesting at the end of the program. So it's not just going to be introduction to one service and the rest. Everything we are doing is preparing you for the final week, preparing you for the finals. You understand? Because when we expose you to all the services, at the end of it, we'll now share you all in teams, right? And then we'll give you a task and expect you to be able to put together all the services we've taught you to be able to solve the project. So it's going to be designed in a project style, the way companies is going to give you a task. Okay. So that's why I encourage you to really pay rapt attention. You never can know if you'll be the team lead for your team, for your members. Okay. So you want to be sure that you get everything. Okay, so let's sign in. All right. I hope my AWS is not misbehaving today. Oh God. I tried to use a VPN the other time. Oh my God. Hmm. Okay, okay. This is okay, it's coming. Login. It's coming. So while it's coming, if you have any question, please don't forget to type it on the comment section. Okay, you can type it on the comment section. I'll try to respond to your question if you have any. All right, so. Okay, geez. I hope the network doesn't fail us today. My God, this is not funny. Let me try. Let me try using this. AWS. Okay, so for some weird reason, this guy isn't. Okay, this is what I'm going to do right now. I will probably have to stop one of the recordings on one of the platforms and see if we're going to be able to get this guy to work very fine. Because for some reason, AWS is very, very selective as to the access. So every other pages is going to open on my internet. As you all can see, everything loads very fine. You see that? But for some reason, AWS is very, very selective. You see that? So if I open YouTube, this page is loading very fine. You see that? Aha. So this is what we have. It's opening very fine. So now, but AWS is still lagging. So, but again, that's not supposed to be a problem for us. So this is what I want to do. We'll try to stop one of the WebEx. I'll stop the WebEx recording, believing that our team's recording is going to be more reliable than the WebEx. So let's check to be sure that this is in progress. Okay, cool. So I'll go stop the WebEx recording. I'll just come here and somebody say, how do we access the game? The over the wire. Just go to the over the wire. Just type on Google, type over the wire. All right. I hope that helps. Over the wire. I'll click on this and say pause recording. Let me see. Or just stop the recording. Okay, so maybe that will make it faster. I don't know, but let's see. Let's try AWS again. Sign in. This is so discouraging. Sign in. Wow. Sign in. Let's see. Okay, so how many of you have been able to open your AWS right now? I think maybe I'll walk with what we have. Or two options on my mind. Either I try to disconnect and rejoin this network again, or I try to do the setup on my computer system. And then you all would be practicing with AWS EC2, whereas I do it on my computer system. But I wanted us to all have the same experience so that nobody has issues during the recording. So so what will happen is this, friends, what will happen is just give me a few minutes, okay? I'll just quickly disconnect and then join back, okay? All right, friends, I'm back. So currently sharing my screen. You should be able to see that I have AWS EC2 open. This is AWS account. So all I need to do is just to click on EC2 right here. Okay. And then when I click on EC2, it should open the page for the EC2 management console, right? And just like every other person knows how to, we need to launch an instance. All right. So I'll just click on this to launch an instance. Now I saw a lot of errors. Some persons share screenshot errors. And I'll try to, it's going to come say, I'll just call it app server. Okay. I'll come here and say app dash server. All right. So now I told you about this AMI, which is machine image. Okay. If you watch this, this is a machine image. Okay. So take note of each of these commands. They are these AMIs, they are very, very different. Okay. So for now, we'll just stick to using Ubuntu so that you all can get used to how Ubuntu works. Maybe later on, I can now show you how you can do maybe Amazon Linux. Okay. So, but if you're using Amazon Linux, I think I saw a screenshot where somebody used this Amazon Linux in installing Nginx, and the person had some issues, right? Because the person tried to do yum install Nginx without updating. And apart from that, the package name was also different. You understand? So, but again, I'll keep everything simple and choose Ubuntu. Okay. So I'll scroll down, take note of what I did. I simply gave it a name, which is this, and I gave it an AMI, which is Ubuntu. So I'll collapse this. Now asking me for instance type. So remember I asked you to always choose T2 micro. In the previous session, I think it was during the Friday review and troubleshooting session, I did a clear explanation on what we call instance types. For those of you who joined, you remember that we have something we talked about called instance types. And I explained the different instance types. And I told you it's in this the capacity based on the performance and what you want to do. The more resources you need, the faster the machine, the higher the instance types. Okay. I explained all those things. You can click here to compare the instance types. Okay. So please, for this program, stick to T2 free, T2 micro, because this is free. Okay. Except if you have some dollar credits, of course, you can move on to something higher. Okay, like I do. So I'll just come here and just choose this one, maybe. So if I choose this, I'll scroll down. So I'll just minimize this. So key pair, we already talked about key pair, but just you can create a key pair if you don't know how to. It's very simple, but I'll choose the key that I already have. Okay, so let's move on. Networking, I don't want to touch anything here. Volume, this is 8 gig, that's fine. I think that's all. I hope nobody has questions with these areas. We've all covered these fundamentals. So let's move on, okay? So we can be faster. All right, good. I'm starting the instance. Good. Now I'm going to click on this link. Okay. Different ways we can do it, but I'll click on this. It's going to take me to this page. And then you're going to notice that it's going to show me that particular instance and it's currently running. Okay. Friends, if you select here, you're going to see some informations here. You already know that. If you unselect it, you won't see anything here. Okay, good. So now, under the details tab, okay, let's bring this up here. Under the details tab, you can see there's a public IP address. Did you see that? Now, this is the instance. How can I connect to this server running that I just created? This EC2 instance running, how can I connect to it? One way is to use the SSH method I just taught you all, this. Okay, so let's remove this. Remember I told you SSH username at host IP and then ports. Is it not true? Good. Now, if I come here and put SSH and put a space, it's going to ask me for the username. So let's assume you don't know the username. How do you get the username? I'll show you. Make sure you select this and you click what? Connect. Can you see connect here? Click on it. Friends, remember, this is SSH client, but this is EC2 Instance Connect. If you look down here, can you see username? User name. Did you see that? Username is what? Ubuntu. So come here and just put Ubuntu. At what? Host. I told you it's either a URL or an IP. Is it not true? Public IP. So this public IP will still work. So I can still choose this. I'll paste it here. Did you see that? Then which port? -P is usually port 22. Even if you don't put port 22, it will always work. 22 is the default port. If there's any port other than 22, you will always specify it. If you remember the one for the over the wire, it was 2220, so something like that, because it's not 22. Okay, so let's try this. I'm going to copy this. Okay, and how do we connect it? Let's go into one of our environments. So we can either try it from here, or from here, or from here. I hope that makes sense to you. So let's try and connect it from here. So CLS to clear the screen. So let's paste it. SSH Ubuntu at the public IP -P 2022. Sorry, 22. So I'm just going to hit enter. Watch what's going to happen. It's asking me, are you sure you want to continue connecting? Type yes. I know it's going to fail anyway. What did you see there? It said Ubuntu, permission denied, public key. So from experience, I want you to all to remember that anytime you see this permission denied and you see something like this, you know that it probably needs a key. Do you notice that when we're connecting over using this what is it called? Over the wire. Did you see that? We didn't use any key. We're just able to connect into it straight on. Do you understand? We didn't need any key. We just connected straight into it once we added the password. Now, but AWS is different. AWS is different. Remember that when we're creating the EC2 instance, I attached a key. And the name of my key is called Cloud Engineer. Do you remember? Good. So that is AWS extra way of securing the server, so that AWS says, no, they don't like using password. Over the wire prefers to use password. That's why they're asking me for password. If I type Bandit 0 and hit enter, this should give me access. Did you see that? But AWS says, no, we don't want you to use password to connect to our servers. We want you to use a key. And let it be the key you created. Do you see that? So now, what should you do next? Make sure you go to the location where your key is. Do you remember from previous classes? So I know my key is always in the downloads folder, okay? Except I move it out from there. So I'll just cd into the downloads folder. Okay, and just hit enter. I'm currently in the downloads folder. So now all I need to do is this. The extra thing I need to do is this. Let me show you this. So instead of, okay, let me just type it here. Whenever you're using a key, this is how it works. SSH -I for identity. Okay, then you put the key. Let's say the name of the key is Achiever. I'll put achiever.pem. Did you see that? Then I can now put my username at the IP dash the port. Do you understand? This is how it works. Okay, so this is the extra thing we just added here because we needed a key. All right, so to go into that server now, what do? I'll come here and say the same thing that we did here. This is the same thing that gave us this error. Is it not true? So just use your left cursor. Left. Now, if you don't want to be moving to the left, to the right, you can always use Control A. If you use Control A, your cursor will bring this blinking point to the beginning. Now, for some reason, it doesn't work on what is it called? It doesn't work on this command prompt. If I was doing it on this, for instance, watch. Let me show you this. If I press Control A, did you see my cursor is at the front here? If I press Control E, it will take it to the end. Control A, it will take it to the beginning. Control E takes it to the end. Did you see that? Aha. So these are just shortcuts that makes me faster. Okay. So Control A, I'll come to the beginning and use my right arrow. I'll put -I, the identity, and the name of my key is what? Cloud Engineer. Okay. Let's see. Cloud Engineer key. I hope I'm correct. So I need to be sure. So I need to go here and check for that key again. So go to the downloads folder. I'll come here and put *pem. See here, cloud-engineer-pem-key.pem. I'm correct. So cloud-engineer-key.pem. Okay, you see? So this is the key. Okay, I hope this is not confusing anybody. This I means identity. Provide your identity, which is this key you're providing. Okay, we tried to do it here without the identity and it didn't work, right? So you know, I can still do it here, it will work. Okay, it's not because I'm choosing this environment, whichever one. So what's the username? With the username is what? Ubuntu, right? So come here and just type Ubuntu. What's the host? The IP. So let's come here. This is the username Ubuntu. This is the host. I'll come here and paste it. Did you see that? Now I told you the port is 22, or you can just remove it. It will still work because by default it's 22. Now, if I hit enter, see what's going to happen. Okay, it's telling me it cannot find this key. Okay, I know why it cannot find it. Did you see my location? This is supposed to be in the downloads folder. You see, but I'm in the wrong folder. So I need to CD. I'll just press CD. It will take me back to this location. It's like saying going back to this location. So from here, if I say CD into downloads, you see that? So I'm in the downloads folder now. If I do this, this is the exact command I hit before. If I hit enter, watch what's going to happen. Did you notice? I'm inside the server. So I know so many persons had challenges understanding how this works in the last class. That's why I took my time to explain this step by step. Okay? I want to believe that everybody understands how to connect into a server from these demonstrations we've done. Okay? So please, everything I did here is actually under this SSH client. You can click here and you also see it. Open an SSH client, locate the key, give the key a permission, do this. Or you can just come here and just copy this. You see? You mustn't even put it in quotes because you notice I didn't put it in quotes and it worked for me. So you can use this DNS name or you can use the public IP. This is the public DNS. This thing you see here. Let me show you so you see it. Now, you know, this is the public IP. Look here. Can you see this? Okay, so either you use this or you use this. They'll still give you access to the same server. Okay, I want to believe that everybody understands what we've done. So if we are all on the same page,
just enjoy.
let's build upon it. Any questions so far? Any question? Any question? I want to believe that we are all on the same page. Okay, okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Peace. All right, great. So I'm sure my WebEx team, they're also on the same page with me. Okay, all right. Just to be sure that nobody's being hindered. Okay, great. Let's continue. Now we have access to our EC2 server. Please, let's mute ourselves. I have to mute you. Okay, so I want to believe everybody's on the same page with me. So what's the next thing? You can use EC2 instance to do a whole lot of things. In the last class, I showed you how you can use EC2 to set up a web server. Okay, and we tested a simple web server called Nginx. Okay, we tested Nginx. And in the last class, we also tested another web server called Apache. And it worked. I showed you how to install it. And I showed you how to test the pages. I even showed you how to host an application inside of it. I'll encourage you to watch the videos again. And if you have questions, please reach out. So this class was more on re-emphasizing what we did in the last class so that I don't lose you all completely. But I want to move a step further to show you some other things cloud engineers do. It's not just setting up web servers, okay? It's not just installing Nginx. So what if you have an application given to you? What do you do? How do you run it? Now, I'm taking my time to show you the incremental thing we want to do right now. It's incremental because it requires a whole lot of things going on right now. Okay, so please, I really want you to pay rapt attention. Okay, so friends, I want you to understand that there are different kinds of applications that can be hosted on a server. Different kinds of applications can be hosted on a server. Okay, so it could be a JavaScript application. It could be a Python application. It could be a PHP application, whichever the case will be. Okay, so I'll give us an assignment, which is going to be to set up a simple PHP application. So I want to show you some few things. So then we'll now build upon it and wrap up the class. So I'll come here. So friends, see this. I mentioned two things right now. I told you that we can have a Python application and we can also have what? A JavaScript application. Okay, we can have what? A Python application, and we can as well have a JavaScript application. Now, please break it down. It's becoming too complex. I can, sure, I will. Now, if you join a team as a DevOps or as a cloud engineer rather, okay, you join a team as a cloud engineer and they just ask you, okay, take this application from the developers and host it on the cloud. Okay, it's one of the skills expected of a cloud engineer. They just give you an application and ask you to host it on the cloud. How can you do that? That's the first question. Can you host it? The answer is yes, you can. You should be able to. But the first step in doing this is to understand the difference between these types of application. Remember, I told you applications can be written in different languages. Okay, so we can write an application in Python. We can write an application in JavaScript. We can also write an application in what is it called? In C sharp. C sharp. We can write an application in Ruby. We can write an application in PHP. Okay, and so on and so forth. Many of them. Okay, so now, but we are just going to focus on just these two. Okay. Now, how do you identify these applications? Please try to mute yourself if you're joining the session. Okay, I'm going to take note of that, Mrs. Informer. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please try to mute yourself if you're on this call. Please mute yourself. All right, so we can just. Okay, let me just mute everybody. So I'm sure not everybody does it intentionally. Okay, cool. So I want you to understand that the way we identify Python applications usually ends with .py. Okay, most Python applications usually ends with .py. Does that make sense? And most JavaScript applications usually ends with what? .js. Do you understand? Most C# applications usually ends with .cs. Okay, .cs. Most Ruby applications usually ends with .rb. Most PHP applications usually ends with .php. So if you join a team or you want to work with an organization and they tell you, okay, young man, go to this folder or go to Google Drive or go to GitHub and you will see our code. For example, let me show you all. Let's click on this and go to GitHub. If you come here, you're going to see, I'll just type GitHub. Okay. And this is what you're going to see. Okay. They say join over 150 industry most influential thought leaders. Okay. So now, this GitHub is where a lot of companies store their codes. A whole lot of companies store their codes here. Do you understand? A whole lot of companies, over 100 million developers use GitHub to store their codes. Okay. Now, I know we are not developers, right? And we are taking a lot of assumptions there. We're not developers. But the job is that you'll be given the code, and your job is that you should be able to host it on the cloud. Okay. So if we check here, we can find a whole lot of codes here. And some of those codes, we can find it under open source. Okay. Under open source. Okay. Now, if I'm correct, I can find one. Let's use the simplest one. I'll come here and type GitHub, and from GitHub, I'll just type simple HTML website. Let's see. Good. You see the way I'm searching for it, right? I hope this is not difficult. So you're going to see something like this. Let's click on this and it's opened. So if you check here, you're going to see this is a project, okay, by a company. Now, this is an open source project. Open source project. What does it mean? When we say open source, what does it mean? It simply means that anybody can contribute to it. Anybody can modify the code. Anybody can modify the code. Do you understand? You can contribute and you can modify the code, right? So it's public, as you can see. All right. So this is something they did. Okay. Now, I want to show you, supposing you are working with your team, right? And this is so this is the code. Everything they did here, this is the code, right? But this is how it looks like. This is the link here. If you click on this, this is what you're going to see. Mozilla is cool. Did you see that? This is the website. This is what you have here. Okay. Now, but my question to you is, how let's assume that this is the code, right? You were given, and your job as the DevOps engineer, sorry, I'm interchanging it. Your job as the cloud engineer in this case, because why am I even using DevOps engineer? Because sometimes DevOps engineers are even expected to know how to use the cloud, okay? Or DevOps engineers are expected to even have cloud engineering skills. You understand? It's usually interchangeable, interchanged rather. Okay. Now, as the cloud engineer, friends, this is the code. How should you progress? We have access to the server, right? Everybody can see we have access to our server right here. Is that true? Okay, it's already out. If it disconnects you out, just press the up arrow key and try to connect again, and it will take you back in. Okay, good. Now, if you type ls, you see nothing is happening. The first thing you should do, first thing, is to do something. You just type sudo apt update. Okay, it's a good practice to always update your server. Okay, so I'm updating it. I'm updating it. Beautiful. Now, I'm going to clear my screen. Now, let's close all this, guys. I think this guy is doing a great job. So let's just leave it at this. Now, the next thing we want to do is this code we have here, right? It's on GitHub. Friends, for you to be able to do anything on GitHub, you need something we call Git. You need to install Git on your computer system. So in this server, this particular server here, Git is not installed. We can confirm if Git is installed, then we don't need to install it again. So how do you remember I told you how to check for if applications are installed? You can type git space. Okay, tell me first of all, let's see. Let me see the comments. Can you tell me how do I check if Git is installed on this server? Can I get your feedbacks? Let's see. Let me see what you all type from the comment section. My WebEx guys and the Teams guys, anybody? Okay. Somebody's piece says git space dash v. Okay. 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 Great. Great. So let's try it. Let's try it. So let's try git dash v. So you see, we got it. So you all are actually correct. If you come and put dash dash and put version, this should still work. So you see, for this to be working, it means git is installed. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you, Obe. Okay. So if you don't see any response, it means git is not installed. So how do you install git? So the first thing you should ask yourself is the type of server. This is Ubuntu. Okay. If it's using Ubuntu, all you need to do is to say apt, okay, install git. Okay. Now, but it's going to give you a permission error because to install anything, you need permission. All right. You need permission. It's just like saying that you want somebody to sleep over in your house. If you want someone to sleep over in your house, you need permission from your parents, right? So, except you are now the parents or you are the eldest and your parents believe in you, they've given you the permission to do that. So, indeed, we call it sudo. So anybody who uses sudo, that person has high privilege, elevated privilege, okay, superpowers. It's like you've gotten the superpower to do anything you feel like doing. Okay, so once you put sudo apt install git, okay, now let me take it slow and steady so that you all can get it because I really want us to get it. So I'm going to remove the sudo and try to install it. Watch. If I try to install, what did you see there? First of all, you see this E column and then you see permission denied. So from experience, I want you all to know that anytime you see permission denied, it means that you don't have the permission to do such a thing. Okay. Now, did you see the next information there is becoming descriptive, trying to help you? It's asking you, are you root? So the word root simply means admin. Okay. We usually see root users as admin users. Admin is like the head of the the whole operation, okay? Like this person who has the superpowers, okay? Just like the principal of your school is the admin, okay? Not necessarily, but I'm sure you get what I mean. So in this case, if you're root, it means you have the powers to do that, okay? So if you're not, you need to borrow the root powers, and to do that, you need to put sudo. Did you see that? So if I come here now and press sudo, you see that? I type sudo and say apt install and say install git. Did you see that? Now, if I hit enter, did you see? It's trying to install. And then what does it tell me? Git is already installed. So I don't need to install it again. I hope that makes sense. Good. We're done with that aspect. So now, before all this, how did we come here? We came here because we were trying to use this, get this application from here. Okay? So friends, there's something you need to do. Did you see something here? Can you see this green box here? Can you see this? Let me share this link with you all in case you're practicing alongside with me. So let me share it with you. Somebody said command not found. Mr. Babatunde, please check. And I'm not sure why you're getting that, but please check and let me know. Okay? So, all right. So friends, watch what I'm doing. I'll simply come here. So this is the GitHub page, right? So if you watch here, you're going to see a green button, okay? That says code. All I need to do is to click here. Can you see this? Under HTTPS, can you see this copy icon? Just click on this to copy it. Just click on this, copy, copy, copy. That's all, copy, all right? Once you've copied it, good. Go to the server where you confirm Git was installed. The only thing you should do, just type git space clone. Did you see that? Git space clone. It's like saying you want to clone it. You want to have a copy of whatever is here. You want to clone it. So paste that URL. Did you see the URL I copied from here? This URL here. Here. So they said clone this using the web URL. So I copied it and then I type git space clone space. Then I pasted it. So immediately I hit enter. Now I'm going to press Control C first of all. Control C. Now I did that intentionally. If I type ls, did you notice there's nothing inside this server? So imagine when I do my git clone now, git clone, and I paste the link. Did you see that? Now if I hit enter, watch what's going to happen. It clones it. If you type ls, did you notice there's something here? There's a folder. Did you see that? Let's clear the screen. Type ls again. Can you see? It cloned this folder, which means everything inside here it's inside this folder. So this is like a folder. So it cloned everything inside here into that server there. So how do I know it's everything inside? You know how the cd commands work, right? Type cd and say type beginner, okay? And hit enter. Did you see that? Type ls. Did you notice all these things are inside here? Is it making sense, friends? You see how it's working, right? This is so beautiful. Now, this is how it works. So we've been able to confirm that we've cloned it down from here into the server. Is it not true? Good. Now, friends, I just wanted you to see that there's something inside. So let's step out of this. Just type cd, only cd, and hit enter. Good. Now, because this is not a Python application or a JavaScript application, okay? This is just a simple static website that's just containing HTML and CSS, okay? So to work with this, we need a web server for this. And from what I taught you in the last class, Nginx is a web server software, and what Apache 2 is a web server software, okay? So anytime somebody asks you that you should host an application or a web application, ask the person, is it a static web application, or is it a static website or a dynamic website? Okay. I've told you the differences from our previous classes. So static is just simply HTML and CSS, sometimes with JavaScript, but it does not involve a database. Okay? It's dynamic applications that usually connect to a database. All right, let's move on. So I'm going to install Nginx on this server right now. Okay? I'm going to install Nginx on this server right now. So first of all, before I install Nginx, let's confirm something. Remember, this is an EC2 instance server. Is it true? Check in your AWS. You're going to see it here. Now, can you see this is the public IP? This is the public IP. You can copy this and try to open it. No, let's close this. We're done with this right now. So let's just paste it here. Now, if I hit enter, you notice that it's not going to load anything. This site can't be reached. Nothing is happening. That's intentional. I just want you all to know that nothing is happening. Okay, good. Now, first thing we need to do, we want to set up a web server to host this static web application. Okay, now how do I do that? I'll simply install Nginx, and I told you how to install Nginx in the last class. So I'll simply say sudo apt install word Nginx. Did you see that? And then I put -y in the last class, and not every one of you understood the reason why I put the -y. But watch what's going to happen if I don't put this -y and I try to install Nginx. Okay, if I hit enter, did you notice it's trying to install? So after saying so many interesting stories, it now came down here and said, do you want to continue? Yes or no? So imagine if I press N for no and I hit enter. Did you see it's aborted? It cancelled it. So I can press up arrow key on my keyboard. Now, when I say up arrow key, because I saw some questions in that manner, so I'll come here and say arrow on keyboard. I know this is elementary, guys, but please pardon me. I will really want everybody to be followed along. On your keyboard, this is what I mean on the arrow. Press up, this is down, this is left, this is right. Okay? All right, good. I really want to carry everybody along. So I'm just going to press the up arrow key now. Did you see that? Did you notice that each time I press the up arrow key, it takes me to commands that I have written before? Up, 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 up. You can even press down, 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 down to the last one. If you want to see all of them, you can just type history. And it will show you all the commands you've typed before. I hope this is not confusing anybody. Let's expand it so you can see it. Okay? Let's do it again, history, so you can see all the commands. Okay, good. Now, let's say I want to run this line 15. I don't like doing magic in front of you also, that I don't confuse you all. So, but let's just type it. I'll type sudo apt install Nginx. Now, this time around, I'll put -y. Did you see that? I'll hit enter. Can you see it didn't ask me, do you want to continue? Because automatically it's going to just pick that Y that I added as yes. So do you notice I have installed Nginx? And I told you how to check if Nginx is installed by saying Nginx-v. And if it doesn't work, you can always use the -- version. Okay? All right, good. And also I told you, okay, for some reason, it doesn't work with this. I don't think my spelling is wrong. This version I typed. Okay. So, but we're good to go. So now, friends, the next thing we need to do is to check if Nginx is running. Okay. Because if we were doing this using Apache 2, we need to always confirm. We'll do sudo system ctl status, and we'll say Nginx. Did you see that? And it tells you that Nginx is what? Active, and it's running. Did you see that? And it's also enabled. I explained all this in the last class, so I won't delve on it again. Okay? Even though some person said it's lagging, I understand. If you watch the video again, you notice I explained it in several sections just so that I can reiterate and make you all understand. Okay? Now, so I'm sure everybody understands this right now. So let's confirm if Nginx is running. So if we come here, this is where our server is. Did you see this? If I try to reload this, notice that it's still telling me this site cannot be reached. But we have Nginx running, and Nginx is a web server. One thing I told you all to always do is just to type coil and say localhost, okay? And hit enter. What did you see here? Did you notice we're getting welcome to Nginx? Welcome to Nginx. Now, if this is walking down here, it means it's supposed to be walking outside here. But this is not working. Why? Because AWS does not allow anybody to come into this instance. I'm only able to see this working here because I SSH into the instance. Remember, I am inside this server right now. I connected inside of it using SSH, and that's why I'm able to see this. But anybody that has not SSH into it cannot be able to see this welcome to Nginx, especially connecting it externally like I'm doing through the browser. So if you want anybody to be able to see it externally, especially from the browser, you need to open the ports, the security group ports. I hope that makes sense to us. So if you come here, you're going to see there's a tab called security. Just click on it. All right. Then you select the security groups. Okay. And then you're going to see inbound rules and outbound rules. I told you inbound rule is for incoming connection. Okay. So right now we want to come into the server. Right now we can't come in. That's why it's telling you it took too long for this guy to respond. So, and we want to come in through port 80. Just like if you see our game server, we were trying to go into the game server through port 2220. So, right over the wire. So in this application, we are trying to access Nginx over port 80. So inbound rules, I'll click on this, edit inbound rules, and I'll click on add rule, and then I'll come here and say port 80. Click on this. I'll click on this. I'll click on this. And I'll click on save rules. That's all. So if I come here and click on this and click on reload, we should be able to see welcome to Nginx. Let's wait and see. I hope there's no network challenges. Just to be sure everybody's good. I'm just trying to check it from my end, just to be sure. Okay, so one of the reasons why this may not work, let's be sure. So watch this. Friends, let's watch this. Did you notice it's not working, right? Watch this closely. Did you see HTTPS? HTTPS. Now, HTTPS uses a different port, and the security group I allowed is only HTTP. Okay, so what I need to do right now is to remove this S here. Okay, I need to remove that S there. Okay, so let me see. For some reason, it seems oh my god. Those on Teams, can you all hear me audibly? Please, can you hear me audibly on Teams? Just to be sure. Okay, good. Okay, I was thinking maybe it was lagging also. All right, so now I was saying that all you need to do is just remove this S here. So if I immediately remove this S here, did you see that? And I hit enter. You see? it works. Welcome to Nginx. Okay, so we've not finished this. So the first step has been cleared, which is we've set up Nginx. Okay, now, but remember, the goal of everything we did is not to install Nginx. We download the company's website is here. Okay, so we want to be able to move, see that company's website here. And it's only Nginx that can host that company's website. Do you understand? Good. So, and I told you from the last class that Nginx has a folder where it stores everything. Okay. Now, /var www.html or a different folder. You can always check in the configuration folder. Okay. So, like what I did in the last class, I checked in the configuration folder. So let me just show you how to do that. So I can do it cd into /etc. Don't worry about this part for now. Go into Nginx and type ls. You're going to see something called Nginx configuration. Or let's go into sites enabled. Cd into sites enabled. And you're going to see default. There's a file called default. So if you use the cat command to check the defaults, okay, you're going to see so many things. Now, I just want you all to see is something called /. This is the roots here, okay? /var www.html. So you don't have to practice everything with me. So I just went into this location to check whether that is the root folder. And yes, it is, okay? From experience, I know this is where it is, okay? So now, all I need to do, I'll type cd to go out of this. You see that? Just type cd. Let's go into /var www html. Sorry, don't put extra slash, just html. You see that? If you type ls, did you notice we have a page here? Index.this. So this index page is what is responsible for this. I can prove that to you by using nano. So if I use nano to edit this file, index. If I edit this, you see there's so many things there. So if I come here and under this is where I am right here. So I'm going to come here and say welcome. I'll say welcome Achiever to Nginx. Okay, so how do we exit from here? Control X. Watch the bottom left. Whenever you see this thing, you press Control X on the keyboard. It's asking you to save. Just press Y only for yes. Now just hit enter. Okay, now you see it's telling me permission denied. It cannot save this thing that I did here. Why? Because I need permission to be able to change anything here. So I'll press Control X to exit. Do you want to save? I'll press N for no. So for me to be able to add something into this, I must put sudo in front of this. I told you anytime you see the permission error, you use sudo. So I'll come here and say sudo and say nano and then the name of the file. See that? I'll hit enter. See, I've opened it. So let's go. So this H1 again, this same line. I'll come down, take my cursor down. I'm pressing the down arrow, and the right arrow now. If you see my cursor is here, it's moving. Okay. Okay. So I move backward. I can say, welcome, Achiever, to Nginx. If you're done typing, you can delete any ones you want to delete. Okay. But if this is all I want, fine. Or I can come here and so I can delete every other thing. So this is what I want. Welcome Achiever to Nginx. Okay, let's delete this other one too. You see, that's all. Now, I'm done editing my page. Okay, did you see X here? Control X. I want to save it. I'll press Y. I'll hit enter. Did you see it didn't give me the error, permission denied error again because I used the word sudo. Good. Now, friends, let's test this. You see, this is welcome to Nginx. Reload it and see. Can you see? Welcome Achiever to Nginx. Does that make sense? So you all know how to edit that. But this is not what we want to do. Again, don't forget, the goal is to get that our website we got from GitHub and host it. Is it not true? Good. So let me solve that once and for all. Type cd and type ls. So this is the website. So I'm going to move this thing into this folder. Okay. I'm going to move it. I can copy it, but I want to move it. I'll just type sudo so that I don't get error. Or let me do it without the sudo so that if you get the error by yourself, you will always know how to solve it. So I'll just say mv. mv is used to move and also used to rename, but let's just use mv. mv, excuse me. I want to move this folder. You see that? I'll press tab. I want to move this entire folder. I'll put a space. I want to move it to this location. Did you see that? I put a space and say /var www html. Did you see that? So this is the original file. This is the destination. This is the source. This is the destination. I want to move this thing from this location to where? This location. Take note of it. Okay? I want to move this folder to this location inside this place. I hope it's not confusing you. So if I hit enter, watch what's going to tell you. Did you see the error we have at the bottom here? By the right side, see permission denied. I told you. So now let's use sudo now. So if I type, I'll press the up arrow key and press Ctrl A. If I take my press Ctrl A, this my cursor will move to the beginning. So instead of using left, I'll just press Ctrl A. You see that bring my cursor to the beginning. So I can just type sudo. Did you see that? So if I hit enter now, you see, type ls and see. Did you see the folder is no longer there? This folder is no longer there. So let's go and check if it is here. So we'll type, I can check from here. I don't have to even enter inside that folder. If I type ls and say /var www html, and can you see that folder is there? You see, that's where we moved it to. It's just like moving it from one location to another location. All right. Now, watch, friends. Remember, this is showing us this. Just this folder we have here. If I copy this folder location, see that? If I copy that folder location and come here and put a slash and paste this and hit enter, it's working. Please, can you all see this? It's working. I'm sure you all know how these simple things because we've done it before. Okay. Now, I've also taught you in previous classes how to make it, how to remove this part such that it's only the IP is going to work. That's going to work. So I'll allow you to think about that and solve that problem. Okay. But I just wanted to show you how to deploy a simple static website. We have a few minutes to wrap up this class. Now, my focus is Python and JavaScript application because in the next class, we're going to focus on this properly. Okay, but I'm doing a gentle introduction so that if it makes sense now, it can make sense in the next class. Okay, so I've tested it and we all can see that our application is working very fine. Okay, now, friends, let me show you something, a gentle introduction. Sometimes when you give, I told you that applications, Python applications end with py, some Python applications end with py, and JavaScript ends with JS, like this. So I'm going to create a folder here, mkdir, and call it Python. Okay, Python app, and hit enter. Okay, now I'm going to cd into that folder, Python app. Now, if you type ls, you notice there's nothing inside here. I'm going to show you a simple Python application, very simple Python application. the most popular one people use, hello world. Okay, so this is it. Take note of what I'm doing. Remember, I told you that any application that ends with .py, often we call it a Python application. So what I'm going to do right now is to create a file. So I'll use nano to create a file, or let's use touch to create the file. Touch, and say we want to create a file and call it app.py. Does that make sense? Anything.py. If I hit enter, we've created the file. Did you see that? Type ls. We've created a file .py, but there's nothing inside. How do I know? Use the cat command and say app.py. Did you notice there's nothing inside? It doesn't return anything. Good. Now, how do you add something inside the file? You use nano. Did you see that? Now, if you use nano and specify the name of the file, then hit enter. It's going to open this way. And it's going to tell you that you are currently in app.py. Okay, and there's nothing inside. Friends, just type this with me, print. Do this. I say, hello. I just wrote my first line of code. Okay, I just wrote my so you don't have to what is it called? You don't have to memorize this with me. This is exactly, let me paste it in case you are finding it difficult to type this. It's simple, but let me paste it for you in case you're finding it difficult. Okay, I've pasted it for you. You can just copy and paste. You don't need to stress yourself. Okay, just copy and paste. Somebody said we don't have videos. Oh my God, friends, I'm so sorry. My brothers, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna share it now for you all. Okay, so I'm sure you all should be able to see. Okay, so I've shared the code, so you can just copy the code, right? You can just copy the code and you'll be fine. So just paste it inside your nano file, okay? Hello, I just wrote my first line of code. Don't forget, please. Did you see this double quote here? The quotation opens here, the quotation closes here. The brackets opens here, the brackets closes here. You can put anything you feel like inside these double quotes, anything. But I just decided to write this, okay? Are we together? You can simply say, my wife's name is Precious, or you can say Precious is a naughty girl, or Precious is a stubborn girl, or just anything. So once you do this, print, and you do this. Okay, so I'm so sorry if you're Precious. Yeah, I'm so sorry. My cousin is Precious, so I'm actually using her name just to make fun of her. All right, good. So so we've written this code, right? So I'm going to press Control X to step out of this, right? Control X. Now it's asking me to save. I'll press Y. I'll just press enter. That's all. Did you see that? So let's check if something is inside now. Press cat and say app.py. Did you see there's something inside? Good. Now, we want to run our code. How do you run a Python application? Okay, very simple. The first step is to make sure that Python is installed. So let's go back to our notes again. Remember, we've confirmed that our file is existing. Any file that ends with .py is a Python application. Is it not true? Once you've confirmed that, the next step is to install the Python application. What we call it is runtime. So I need to check, is Python running on this application, on this server? If I type Python, actually the latest version of Python is Python 3. So if you come and say Python 3 and put -- version, let's see. You see, Python 3 -- version. It will tell you if Python is installed or not. Okay. If you don't see that, you need to install Python, and you all know how to install. Sudo apt install Python, or you just put Python 3 like this, and you put -y, and it will install Python for you. I hope that makes sense to everybody. Now that we can confirm that Python is installed, we cannot use that Python to run this application. How? Simply just come and say Python 3, put a space, and then the name of the code, app.py. So if I come here and say app.py, if I hit enter, it's going to run whatever is inside of it. I'll hit enter. Did you see what it tells me? Hello, I just wrote my first line of code. If you can see this, it means indeed your application is working fine. If you can see this, it means your application is working fine. So now let's improve this. I'll use the nano to open this application. Okay, now let's do something. I'll come here and say hello world. Hello, this is fun. I'll do this. This is fun. Now come here and do another line and say print. I'll come here and do something like this and say, I am so happy with my learning experience. I'll close the quote again. So remember, this opens with quotes. I'll close the quote. You see that? Then this opens with brackets. I'll close the bracket. You see that? Good. So this is the first line. This is the second line. Hello, this is fun. I'm so happy with my learning experience. I'll hit enter again and say, print another line and say, do something like this and say, bye for now. I'll close the quote and close the bracket. You see that? So these are the three things I have inside my file. I'm going to highlight it and share it with you all, just so that you can practice alongside with me. Okay? I'm pasting it here. I hope you all get it there. So I've just shared it. So now I've finished writing this, right? So let's exit out of this nano. I'll press Ctrl X for X-ray, then Y for yes, then hit enter on the keyboard. Good. Now, can we run the application again? Yes, just type Python 3 space app.py, hit enter. Did you see? It works. Hello, this is fun. I am so happy with my learning experience. Bye for now. This is how to build a simple Python application. Friends, does this make sense? So I think we are going to stop here for now, except you all still want me to continue. I want to keep to the time. So I would have said we should touch a little bit on JavaScript. We're going to build upon this, okay? But this is just like a gentle introduction, okay? But so far, does it make sense? Does it make sense? Yes, to write codes in Python is so simple and so sweet. It just depends on who is teaching you and the materials you are exposed to. Trust me. I'm so convinced that you all can do it. Okay? I'm very, very convinced that you can do it. So please don't give up, okay? For now, yes, Ibrahim, that's a very beautiful, awesome question. Ibrahim is asking, so this won't show up in the browser. So right now, if you want it to show up in the browser, there are a lot of things we can do, okay? The popular way is to use something we call a framework, okay? And that's where you hear something called Flask, okay? It's a little bit higher, okay? But in the next class, I will introduce it to you, okay? It's a little bit higher, but I don't want to throw everything in so that you don't all get confused, all right? So I want us to practice everything we've done so far. I can just throw it here for you, but I'm just being careful so that I don't lose you all. Okay, I don't want to lose you all. That's the important thing for me. Okay. Yes, it can be hosted online. Babs, you're asking the same question Ibrahim is asking. So except if time is not a problem, I can show you all how to do something simple. Do we try that? Do we try that? Do we try that? I'm actually supposed to have a class by 11 p.m. Actually have a class by 11 p.m. Okay, so somebody say we have work tomorrow. Okay, so all right, friends. So we're gonna stop here for today. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining. So I'm gonna stop. Okay, let's not stop recording in case there's any question that will be valuable to the learners. So, but friends, please, I encourage you all to practice, 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 and importantly, if you're just joining us, please, whenever you access the Telegram channel, the first thing you should check is the important announcements channel. Important announcements channel. The second thing you should check is the relevant links. Okay. Once you check those two channels, then you can check the other one that is locked, which I think is the, if I'm correct, let me confirm. So we have the relevant link, we have the important channel, and there's another channel. So there are three channels that is locked. Okay. So let's check here. So there's important announcements, relevant link, and then recording. Okay, these are the three channels that are very important. Always check these channels before any other thing. Okay, so you don't feel like we shared some information and you did not get it. Okay, so always check this channel, this important announcement. Then your recordings, you will always find it on your Google Drive. Okay, everybody has access to Google Drive. I know why I'm saying this because I see some questions and it still points that some people don't know about this. Okay, in case you're not aware, ask Miss Vivian and she's going to, or if you watch this, just check the drive. You'll be able to see it. Okay, if you check, you'll be able to see the what is it called, the AWS Cloud Engineering Drive, which is this one. Okay, and you always see the recordings inside there. Let me see. Okay, so I think let's take questions. I'm going to share this link now in case some persons for some reasons lost access to this. Okay, copy link. All right, so let's take the questions in case anybody has one. Okay, so Mr. Babatunde, yes, you can unmute yourself, please. You can unmute yourself and ask a question, please. Let me share it here for my friends on WebEx.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening, please. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for this class.
You're welcome. Please.
Yeah, please. I understand everything you said today, but I think the part is not even recorded. Where you were talking about Ubuntu installation, I had issue with my network then, so I could not install Ubuntu and to my CMD and all. So please, can you go over that again, please? I think it's not taking time too much, is it?
Well, because I'm supposed to have another session that starts very soon. So the only thing you should just know is we said there are several ways to set up Ubuntu on your computer system locally, especially if you want to practice without using AWS EC2. Okay, before I answer your question, please, if you were practicing alongside with me, go and stop your instance and delete it. All right, don't forget, except you want to practice after now. I'm saying this is a disclaimer so you don't forget and you rake up bills for yourself. Go and delete the instance. All right. Aha. So, but back to your answer. If you want to set up a simple Linux environment on your computer system so you can practice, the Mac users does not need it because by default, their terminals supports Unix or Linux commands. Okay. So for Windows users, I simply said you should just go on Google and type install space WSL2. Once you do that, you should be able to get this page. And that's what I said. Once you have this, make sure that you open PowerShell in administrator mode. then
Sorry,
paste this command,
WSL2.
and that's WSL2. Don't worry, just refer
Okay.
to this link there and you'll be fine. Refer to this
So
link and
I'm
you'll be
sure.
fine. I'm sure somebody, if you have any issue, somebody will help you.
Okay, did you drop? Okay, I've seen the link.
Yes, I
Okay.
have.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Is that all, Mr. Babantune?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, peace. Good evening. I want to believe it's a lady. Good evening, madam. Do you have a question? Go ahead, please unmute yourself if you have a question.
Okay. Hi, good evening, sir. Please, can you hear
Good
me?
evening, madam. Audibly,
Okay.
yes. Go on.
All right. Thank you very much for the class. My question is based on the initial HTML. Was it the GitHub link that we copied at first? After moving my file to the folder, the VAR directory or folder, and I refreshed the website, it was not working. It was still showing the Nginx details on my browser. So I wanted to know if you know what could be causing the problem.
Okay. I almost shouted something called Osanobua, but okay, now just can you share your screen? So probably can help you quickly resolve it if you're still stuck there. Else you can just post the screenshot and then we can help you look into it and help you solve it. Okay?
Yes, I can share my screen.
Right. Will you quickly do so?
Okay.
Okay, does any other person has a question? Kindly signify by raising up your hand so that we can address it.
So please, can you grant me the permission to share my screen? I don't have the
Sure.
permission.
That's fine. Thank you for letting me know. I will do just that. All right, go ahead, please. You should be able to do so now.
Okay, thank you.
All right, while you're getting your screen ready, hello, Mrs. Ifoma. Good evening. Do you have a question we can address quickly before she's...
Good evening, Mr. Chiba.
Good evening, madam. You're welcome.
Please, I would like to ask that since we already have Git Bash, why are we installing Ubuntu again?
That's a very brilliant question. Thank you for asking. So Git Bash does not have the full-fledged commands. And I did a demonstration by simply typing sudo. And if you type sudo, you realize it tells you command not found. And sudo is a Linux command. You understand, right? So
Yes.
it's just a friendly way to support some Linux command. It's just a Linux simulator, right? But not necessarily a Linux terminal per se. You understand? It simulates, does not give you the full features. Okay. So that's why we can run some SSH, some LS, some PWD touch command, but it doesn't run all the Linux command we need. You understand? If you try to install something like sudo apt install Nginx, it won't work. You get an error message, right? Because that is not a Linux environment. You get. So that's why we just use it to connect to the servers. So you can connect to the servers from there, but not necessarily do it inside the Git Bash. So Git Bash is just like an entry point, an SSH client. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I hope that helps. You're welcome, madam.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good. Hi, Mrs. Peace. We are waiting for you. Would you share your screen? Would you kindly share your screen?
I'm so sorry
Okay.
about that. I wonder if I can't share my screen. Like my PC is not allowing me share my screen, but I can send a screenshot if that's okay. Like a screenshot of my terminal.
Sure, you can. I'm just wondering why you can't, because you currently have the permission to do so. Let me see. Please try again. You currently have the permission to do so. Just click on the share and it should allow you. Is it working now? Well, if it doesn't, just share the screenshot and I can quickly help you check. Okay,
Hello.
good. I can see your share.
All right.
Mhm. And I can see you're also using an Ubuntu environment, if not Kali. This looks like Kali.
Yes, it's Kali.
Oh, awesome. That's good. You see, you're a strong and amazing person. So you all can disturb Mrs. Peace. I'm sure she's already very conversant with all this.
No, sir, I'm still learning. Okay, so
All right,
this.
please share.
Okay. I'm looking for the initial command. Okay, this is it when I moved it to the folder. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, you might want to just click on the terminal. Click on the terminal. Good. So no, click on it. We good. Can you hide this stop that sharing you have there? You just click on
Okay.
hide. Click on hide. No. At the bottom middle section, you should able to see Microsoft is sharing your screen. Click on hide.
I've clicked on that.
Okay, good. It's gone now. Okay, so click on the terminal again so that this right click can disappear.
I don't know why it just started displaying and I can't.
Okay, so
So
what's the question?
The question is that I've moved the folder and I refreshed the page, but then it's still showing me. It's still
Okay,
showing
so
the
from what I can see, you are trying to install. Can you go back to that place? Let's see it again.
This is it. This is the command here. That's this.
So first of all, I can see you are disconnected from the server, right?
Okay, it just disconnected now. Let me connect back.
Okay, good.
I don't know why
Good.
this is popping up. Oh, so sorry about that.
It's fine. It happens. That's how I feel too when I'm sharing the screen sometimes, and those things happen. So it's fine. I have less than 5 minutes for my session.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about the delay.
It's fine. It's fine. Just to let you know.
Okay, I'm there now. And
Okay,
I've moved.
try to reproduce the error. Try to reproduce the error. Let's see.
Let me go back to the directory.
You need to put CD. You need to put CD before you go into that directory. Okay, CD. Now there's a slash that comes before the var /var/. You understand, right?
Yes, sir.
It's good. That's just to tell you that any little error, it's not going to work. Okay, good. So what next?
Okay,
I wish you could
thought.
increase the
Sir?
font so other persons can see. As for me, I can
Oh,
see clearly. I have sharp eyes. So go ahead.
I don't know. I can't increase the font.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
Just go ahead.
Okay, what I'm saying is that I thought after using this command, I should be able to view the hosted GitHub page after
It's
refreshing this
actually
page.
it's actually there. Just put a slash. Right now, as long as it's still saying, so remember, everything you did is inside that folder, beginner HTML styles, site styled. So it's inside a folder. That was the task I asked you all because we've done it before. So it's inside a folder. So just to confirm that it's working, right? Go back to
Mm,
go to your browser. I'll show you something.
okay.
Can you go to the browser? Good. Put a slash. Put a slash after the IP. Put a slash. Good. Now type the name of that folder. Beginner, some style, something. Just, or you can just go copy and paste it. Somebody said, I have checked through the drive. I can't find a file from today, but nothing more. I appreciate working links to the older session so I can work. Okay, Purpleberry, if you're still on this call, let's do it
Oh,
together. So this is the drive link. This is Google Drive. Watch me. So you see that I'm not. So if you come here, can you see live session recordings? Just open this, all right? Can you see training sessions? Just choose this. Can you see all the sessions we've done? Session 1, 2, part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. This was the last session we had. Then this current session. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Confirm if you are on this call. Else, let me just share the link for you. Okay, let me just copy it and share it for you. So you don't I'm still wait. Have you been able to do it?
yes, I have. I have seen how you got it. Thank you very much.
No, but remember I told you can still remove everything and make it work with just the IP. You don't have to always put that folder path. So it's a simple, we did it in the last class. If you go and watch the video, you notice I showed you how we can do it. I use the move command. So you can just delete the index delete that index Debian Nginx file. Once you delete it, copy everything you have inside that beginner styled folder and drop it in that HTML folder and it will be able to work. Do you understand?
Yes, I will try that.
Okay, good. All right, friends. I think that'll be all. I need to go
Thank
for my
you.
session. Thank you so much, and please do have a great night rest. Good night, everybody. Yes, just stop recording.